Well, hello there. This is Slav Polinski, Slav Polinski Homes in Downers Grove. And the topic for this month is getting your home ready for sale. So you've decided to put your home on the market. What is the next steps? And today I have with me local home inspector, Bob Casey of A1 Home Inspections. And the reason why I brought Bob along this time is to use his expertise. So when a home is on the market, one of the first things a buyer will see, and I know this because I work with both buyers and sellers, is the exterior of the home. The first impression when a buyer pulls up to the house. Some of the things that we look at as we walk up to the home is the condition of the exterior, condition of the roof, any problems in settling in the pavement, and so forth. So I brought Bob here along today, and Bob, say hi to everyone.
Good morning.
And what we're going to talk about are some of the things that not only buyers will notice, but things that will come up in a home inspection when Bob or other inspectors are inspecting a home. Another reason why it's so important to have the exterior taken care of as buyers walk up is that if the exterior looks like it's well taken care of, well, it puts buyers at ease knowing that the interior must be taken care of as well. So Bob, tell us first of all a little bit about yourself and your background,
Okay.
and what three things we're going to cover today.
Okay, so I'm the owner of A1 Home Inspections, and I've got 40 some years in construction, so I'm familiar with all the workings of the house. And what we're going to talk about today are, as you're walking up to a home, we're going to talk about caulking. We're going to talk about the exterior, trees and foliage close to the home, and gutters, downspouts, and the roof.
Fantastic. Well, I'm excited to get started. Let's begin, and let's start with caulking. Yeah, let's
Caulking
do that.
around windows.
All right.
So what we're looking at your typical window, typical double hung window. And what I look at when I come into the home is you look at the joints where the window meets the brick mold meets the if it's a brick home, you would have brick here or the vinyl siding. So this should all be, the caulking on this should all be nice and tight, no gaps, no missing spots. And the way you can tell that caulking is good is you take your fingernail, and you press it into it. If it's still, if it leaves an indentation, then the caulking is still good. Now, caulking that I would recommend for the exterior of the house is Quad Seal OSI. Comes in a variety of colors. You can buy it in any of the big box stores. Whenever I do it, I use it on my house also. The next thing you would want to look at as you're walking through the whole house, you just don't want to look at the windows and the doors. You want to look at all penetrations. Where the gas meter comes in, where the hose bibs are, if you have any electrical boxes on the outside, because you can get water in there. If the hole's big enough, you can get mice and other insects, and so what you're going to want to do is seal all of that. The beauty of the OSI is it comes in a variety of colors, so you can get it to match the siding, the brick, the trim on the windows, whatever. So the reason caulking is so important is what it does is it makes a seal from the outside to the inside. If you don't have complete caulking, what you're going to have, what you could potentially have, rainwater, snow, whatever, weeping into the corners, weeping into any gaps, working its way into the substructure and rotting the wall. So caulking is important. It's considered a maintenance item, and you want to do that. You want to walk through yearly. The next thing I would look at is the gaps in the. If you've got a brick house, then it would be the gaps in the mortar here. You don't want holes where if you get a driving rain or the snow builds up on the side of the masonry, you're going to get water infiltrating behind the brick. All bricks should be made with weep holes, so if any water does get behind it, it'll weep out, but you want to minimize that as much as possible. So in this instance, we've got foliage that is too close to the house. Along the back, along the house, and it's touching the roof, touching the siding. Foliage needs to be trimmed away at least 12 inches. You want to keep tree branches, bushes away from the house for two reasons. One, in a windstorm, this tree moving back and forth is going to end up damaging the siding or damaging the roof. Also, after a rainstorm, this is going to hold water against the house, and you want airflow behind all the bushes and all the trees so you can dry it out. You don't want the water to penetrate into the siding. There's been a lot of houses I've been at where they've got the vines growing up on the house, they've got foliage against the house, and that's the look they're going for, but it's detrimental to the exterior of the house. So what we have here, whenever you have a house and you have trees around the house, every fall the leaves are going to fall onto the roof, into the gutter. Your neighbor's leaves are going to fall on the roof, into your gutter. So it's important that the gutters stay clean. Any debris, any leaf debris, stick debris is going to prevent the gutters from doing what they do, taking the water from the roof, shedding it to either end, and then shedding it out away from the house. What happens is the water will dam up here, as you can see. In this instance, the downspout is actually filled with debris. So what ends up happening is the water will flow over the gutter, and it could flow behind the gutter. And if it's an older house and you don't have ice and water shield on here, you could have water running up the roof, damaging the substructure and or damaging the shingles. So it's important to clean your gutters after the leaves fall, and depending on what trees you have, in the spring when you have the helicopters and stuff like that come off the trees. So if the gutters overflow, typically the gutters are supposed to have a 6-foot tail on them. So you want to get the water that's coming off the roof away from the building. If you don't have a tail on the gutters and or the gutters overflow, what happens is you're going to saturate the ground next to the foundation with water. The water could settle the ground, the water could leak into your basement or crawl space, so it's important to get the water that's shedding off the roof away from the property, or away from your foundation.
Anytime.
Okay, so once you're on the roof cleaning gutters, this is a good time to walk around the roof, check your shingles, check your openings, your vents, to see if you've got any holes, any exposed nail heads, any twisted or shingles with loss of granular.
Well, Bob, thanks so much for giving us these great tips on getting a person's home ready on the exterior. What I find is a lot of times people will focus on the interior of the home and totally forget about getting the exterior prepared. And remember, when a home buyer is visiting your home, the exterior is the gateway entrance into the interior. So first impressions are very important. This is Slav Polinski, Slav Polinski Homes with Bob Casey of A1 Inspections. Make it a great day.